Hi, I'm Shreya and this is Decoding Code. In this video, we will be checking out the calendar class in Java, and I will also be using the simple date format class to just help me along with formatting the dates. So if you don't know what that is or how to use it, I do have another video on that if you want to go check that out. I will put that in the info cards up above. So what can you do with the calendar class? Well, it has calendar fields that you can actually use methods with, and I'll go more into that later. And you can also manipulate the dates and do lots of things with those as well. So to start off, we get a calendar, and I'm going to call this C1, and we make it equal to calendar.getInstance, and .getInstance method gives you a pretty accurate representation of the time at the moment that this is created. So that's what it's going to give you. So we create that calendar, and then if I print out the current time and c1.getTime, so it's going to return a date object representing the time in this calendar. And once we run that, we can see that it gives me the current time right now. Now, something that you can do is you can actually add years or subtract years, or add months or subtract months. And you can do that through this .add method. So you can actually do .add, and then I actually commented this out because I want my time and date to be very accurate for the next part of this code. But you can add, and basically you put the field here. This is what the calendar field is, and I'm doing calendar.year, and then I'm going to add 4 years. So then in 4 years it will be .getTime, and I'll show you guys that really quickly without the commenting out part. So in 4 years it will be 2025, which is right, and apparently in 4 years it will be a Friday. This is my example kind of part of the code. Now what this is doing is we're going to use the calendar class to get how old somebody is given their birthday. I am creating a calendar called birthday, and I'm going to set the birthday so I can actually set the time in this calendar to anything I want. So right now I'm going to set it to 2000, and this is the 7th month. Since it starts from 0, it's actually 8, which is August, and this is the 22nd of August. So you can see that I set it to today because I want something to happen if it is the birthday. And so I'm printing out the birthday.getTime, which will print that, and you can see that it prints it out, all of it. And then now what we're going to do is something that we're going to use a lot of the fields here. So in this calendar I'm getting the year, and in this calendar I'm getting the year. So I'm getting the birthday year, and I'm getting the current year, and then the current year minus the year of birth is going to be the years old. And you might think that that's just it, but actually if your birthday hasn't happened yet this year, we need to make some conditions that make it known that your birthday hasn't happened yet this year, so you're actually a year younger than this year's old integer. So if the birthday month is greater than or after the current month, that means that it hasn't happened yet, and my years old is going to be -1. Also, if they are in the same month, but the day of month, now this is the day in the month, so like August 22nd, August 23rd, that's what it's going to be. If the birthday day of month is greater than the current day of month, that means it hasn't happened yet either, so we're also going to minus a year from the years old because it hasn't happened yet this year. And also, I want to give a little bit of a happy birthday message. So if the month is the same and the day is the same, then we're going to say happy birthday to me, I guess, the user. So, and then we're going to print out the years old because with all of this, it's going to be accurate. And if it goes through all of this without needing to be changed, then it's just going to print out the initial years old. I put in the exact same date as for the birthday as the current time. So it's going to say happy birthday, you are 21. But what if I wanted to make it that it didn't happen yet? So I'm going to say it's actually September, And then if I do this, it's going to say you are only 20 years old. Say if I put it in the same month, but one day later, then it will do the same thing. It will say you were only 20 years old, and it has that much accuracy with all of these if and else if statements. So that's pretty good to have accuracy with those dates, and that's something that you can get with this calendar class. Something also that I wanted to mention is that using the calendar class, you can actually change the time zone, because most things dealing with dates as a default to your time zone for your machine. But however, you might not want that in your code. If you need to cater to a bunch of different users all around the world, you might not want to put your own time zone for them. You might actually want to convert the time zone to something else. So that's what I'll be showing you guys how to do. So I'm creating another calendar called C2, just getting the instance, which is the time right now, and then I'll change it later on. And something that you can actually do is you can change the time zone in this calendar. So how you can do this is you can actually set time zone, that's a method, and then you need to put the time zone in here, but you can't just put GMT or something like that because it doesn't really recognize that. So you can use this time zone class and use get time zone, and then you put in this ID. So we can put this as a string in here, and that will basically take this ID and give the time zone for this ID, and then we can set this calendar to that time zone, and then I can print out which time zone it's in. However, if you want to actually print the time in that time zone, then you can use the simple date format and do that, and that's exactly why I commented this out, because I wanted to actually print out the time in the time zone. So we can use this simple date format. If you did watch my other video, you will recognize this. So I'm creating this pattern, and then we are creating this object of the simple date format, putting in that pattern. This also has the method set time zone. So I'm going to set the time zone, do the exact same thing as I did up here with that time zone ID, and we're going to put that in there, get the time zone, set the time zone for that simple date format object. And then what we're going to do here is we're actually creating the string time, and so we're going to use that simple date format and that pattern, and we're going to format this calendar dot get time. So we're actually putting in this dot get time because it's returning a date object that it can actually format. Then we can print out the time because now it has formatted it into the correct time zone that I want it in, and also the correct pattern that I want it in. So if I now run this, I can see that it gives me the time, which is not equal to the time right now in my area. So for me, it's 2:25 on a Sunday, and here it is 9:24 p.m. And you can see that it says it's in the Greenwich Mean Time. So all of that is very useful for your code. A lot of times in your code, you will be dealing with dates and manipulating dates. Maybe you have to convert dates, which is what I showed you here. So thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, then you can give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this every single week. Yeah, hopefully you learned a lot, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.